welcome to Recovery Now. My name is Mike Cohan. We have an excellent show for you today. The purpose of Recovery Now is to bring hope to people who are struggling with addiction. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to bring awareness. We want to reach the people who are sitting at home thinking that their problem is the worst problem ever and they can never get help. I hope that something from this show can reach the person who might think that they're completely alone. This show today is all about honesty, and honesty opens up a floodgate for anyone in recovery. Whether it be that you're getting honest with yourself or with your family, or you're true to your feelings, or maybe you're honest with people outside about your recovery. Honesty itself is an amazing part of recovery, and it really kind of keeps the wheels of recovery in motion. So we have a really cool show for you today. We're going to start off with two gentlemen who have been eager to help us out here and want to show that their appreciation for being sober and want to help others.
Blinded by addiction, I confined my truth to diction and became the hypocrite, crucified by my convictions. Words become flesh as my lies manifest as the tears in my mother's eyes. My father's son is lost among the cloud-covered skies, and my lover seeks solace laying with another guy. My twisted tongue scattered thoughts like a frog among a million flies, killing time, the dreams that died, the clock ticking in the thickest fog. We chase the shadows of the dead till we're tripping on the legs of God. The facade turned on its head. The lies we tell would rise from hell, lest we baptize them with truth instead. Woo!
Thank you guys so much for doing this. I know that it was kind of nerve-wracking for you. You know, can you tell me what this meant to you?
I've been doing music for a long time, and for me it's just like when the world is chaotic or you don't have faith in people anymore and you hear somebody who understands what you're going through and you hear that expression, and for that moment in time it's like everything's okay. So I like giving that back from what I've gotten from music.
You're expressing your recovery through your music.
Yeah.
John, what about you? I saw the passion there for you as well.
Yeah, like Tony said, I've been playing music forever. And I've known this guy for 2-3 days. And the first time he spit that stuff, I stopped halfway through and I was like, I can relate to everything he said.
And then adding the recovery aspect
to it. Oh, well,
of
course,
well.
yeah, absolutely.
You know, that's just amazing. I mean, and how much time do you have sober?
44 days.
Right on. What about you, Tony?
91 days.
91 days. For our next guest, I'd like to welcome Monica, please. So Monica, thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
We want to interview you because of what you do now in sobriety.
Okay.
In your recovery, but can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm a binge drinker. Mm-hmm. So I would drink for maybe 9 days straight, around the clock, and then get so sick. And then my mom would come and scrape me up off the floor, and then I'd start it all over again. I couldn't stop. And I started to drink to escape my feelings and didn't know that I was an alcoholic. And it kicked into high gear. I became a round-the-clock drinker, would sleep with my bottle, would make beds next to the toilet because I knew I would get so sick. I was throwing up blood. I couldn't really eat anything anymore. My hair was falling out in handfuls. If you drink enough, your skin, you can kind of like scrape at it and it'll peel off because you're so dehydrated. My stomach was as though I was 7 months pregnant. My life became very, very small.
Did you lose a job right away? Did that...
No, not right away. I was able to keep it together. Mm-hmm. And since you're talking about honesty, mm-hmm. you know, I was able to lie to everybody, employees, even my spouse, were really good liars. And I was able to convince everybody that I was okay, and then the line really kicked into high gear. You know, there's all these excuses to cover up for the behavior. And I was dramatically changing physically so much that I couldn't lie about it anymore. And I really hit a bottom in New York where I couldn't leave my hotel room for about 8 days. And when I came out of this blackout, there was broken glass all around the room, and I'd broken the hotel window, and I had no recollection of how that had happened. And then I flew back and basically drank till I got into the car accident and ended up going into rehab.
So it was a drunk driving accident. The heat was on. You went to rehab because it was the only thing left to do at that point.
Yeah, I went into it with an intention of, I'm going to do this for 30 days.
Yeah.
I'll do it for my family because there's no way I can stop drinking. I can't stop drinking. But I did have some type of surrender in jail, though. I did.
Jail usually does that to us, I guess.
Well, I'm not built for jail. The whole jail thing was really scary to me, and I really felt like I surrendered on a cot. I remember having a moment of, I don't want to live like this anymore. But I didn't think that I was able, mentally able, physically able to get sober.
So you get to this recovery home and then something clicks.
Yeah.
You know, what happened?
I remember getting to like 28 days, 27 days, and calling my mother and saying, it's working. I think I want to stay 30 more days. Then it'd get to 58 days, and I'd do the same thing. And it just kept going. And then around 90 days is when I started to wake up in the morning and not fear the day. That I was waking up thinking, today could actually be kind of cool. Today might be nice, you know? And I hadn't had that feeling in years, because it was always waking up with this, do I have enough vodka? I'm too sick to go get more. I don't know where my keys are. I don't know where my car is. I'm too sick. I'm gonna throw up getting, you know, it was just a struggle to have that tunnel vision of how do I get my next drink. And to not wake up with that was liberating.
Well, you know, when I talked to you yesterday, and you said, well, I don't know if I would be suitable for the show. I said, well, tell me about your story. And she said, well, I was on a bad mattress throwing up blood every day. I'm like, you're perfect. Come on out. Come on over. I mean, this is what we need to hear. And 3 years of sobriety is a lot. But your world was really large, and it got smaller in a good way. But can you tell me what you're doing today?
Now I am on staff at Friendly House, and it's a fabulous place. It was the first recovery home for women built in the United States, and it just completely reminded me that I'm a lady, and that I'm a woman, and that I am worth investing in. The drinking took that away from me. I didn't feel, all the women are nodding their heads, they understand what I'm saying. I didn't feel like I was worth investing in. And Friendly House just sort of scooped me up and loved me, and the woman that runs it is just a fabulous human being, you know, Peggy Albrecht. And they just teach you how to feel loved, and they don't push you, and it was fabulous. And if anyone had said to me that I would be working in recovery, that was like the last thing that I would ever think that I would be doing. It is absolutely the most rewarding thing I've ever done.
Isn't it, though?
It's unbelievable.
We're lucky.
We're very lucky.
Your world as an executive was huge, and the cars and the homes, and then you lose it all, but then it means so much more.
Oh, yeah.
That whole taking the public transportation, I did the same thing. You know, I couldn't wait in line at the DMV. I couldn't even go grocery shopping. I used to look at those people and say, how could you pay your bills and do all these things? I can't do these things. And then little by little.
I can remember waking up on Sunday mornings and driving to the liquor store and seeing people like pushing baby carriages and looking cute with their Starbucks and, you know, going out for their day or whatever. And I would cry thinking, how can they do that? How can they pull it together and do that? And I'm just like trying to just keep it together to just get my, it was an awful life. It's awful. It's just terrible. And I'm so blessed I don't have to live like that anymore.
You're beautiful on the inside and the outside.
Oh, thank you.
It's so wonderful that you're
Thank
willing
you.
to do this for us and come up here. And there's that woman that's there, that's that executive that might be drinking. And maybe she's still holding it together right now. Maybe she's slipping into the into the bathroom at her office and drinking, or maybe she's a consultant now and she's, she's accountable only to herself, which we know how that's going to work out.
Right.
Or she's pushing all the people out of her life, and she's getting honest with with all the people that are wronging her right now, but she's not getting honest with herself, maybe. And
The cars and it doesn't mean anything.
doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. I was really lonely, even though I had a lot of materialistic things. I ended up being in a relationship that wasn't the relationship for me. All that stuff, it was glamorous early on, but it didn't mean anything. And now I see women get their children back, and I see couples get back together, and I see women that are 18, 19 years old that are able to put their addiction to sleep and carry on with their lives. That's amazing.
It is amazing.
I'm doing something worthwhile.
And you're a part of it now because you're working in recovery.
Yeah, so it's great.
Bill Kay is a high-end stylist who happens to be gay. It is a norm he fits into with pride. Bill also happens to be a recovering meth addict. In this regard, he does not fit so easily into a box. In 2008, the Office of National Drug Control Policy reported the average age of new methamphetamine users to be just over 19 years old. You were telling me earlier you didn't start using drugs until you were how old?
I was 41 when I first started. I thought I was a late bloomer, but I've come to find out that I have plenty of good company.
Why crystal meth?
It gave me the veil behind which I could hide and just be totally uninhibited and really not care what I did, with whom, or anything like that. It had taken a turn for the worse was when I took an HIV test, which was long overdue. And 6 days after my arrest, I went for my test results, and that was when I first learned that I was HIV positive.
Meth use and unprotected sex go hand in hand in the gay subculture. The correlation to HIV infection is well documented. Once infected, the use progresses. Men who are HIV positive are twice as likely to use meth as a way to avoid conflict, unpleasant emotions, social pressures, and sexual inhibitions. And Bill was right about the elevated age of meth users in the gay community. A study reported an average age of 36. You're at treatment at Spencer Recovery. Now, how is that?
They're amazing. One of the greatest things that I've witnessed is the color returning to people's faces. Their souls have become dehydrated into like powdered military rations that all you have to do is mix with, love and support and sobriety, and their souls become reanimated. They become reinvigorated. And witnessing that in other people is a marvelous gift. And I've been told that they've witnessed it in me too, and I like looking at myself better in the mirror now too.
Bill, thank you so much for being here. I got to see a little bit about what you do now. And how many days do you have now?
Today it's 43.
43 days. You didn't start using until you were 41.
Correct.
How old are you now?
49.
49, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's been a long 8 years.
no alcohol or drug issues until you're 41 years old.
Correct. I was a casual drinker, but never a drug user really. I tried pot a handful of times, but that really never was a choice of mine, or a drug choice of mine.
And when you did it for the first time, what was it like?
The first time I tried it, the way it was offered to me was smoking it. And the first hit off the pipe, it was on. I thought I had greater clarity, and that I could be the king of the world, kind of like Leonardo DiCaprio standing on the bow of the Titanic. But unfortunately, it was the Titanic.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
How ironic.
Yeah, truly.
Can we get a show of hands of who is a recovering meth addict in the audience? I am as well. These people who are living in their homes and they're shut out and they're scared and they think they can't get through it. I mean, you knew how long that drug took you in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was on my own in a studio near downtown LA, and nobody was there to say no. But that's when the real isolation set in. It got to the point where I would not leave my apartment until after dark. I did not want to walk through the lobby of my apartment building for fear of, who would see me and judge me and condemn me. And but the worst part of it was that I was condemning myself, And I never thought that 43 days later, I could be experiencing the happiness that I am. And I know that this is just the beginning. Yeah. I have no doubt of that.
We could see the difference in their face, the brightness.
And it's building it's building a home on a foundation of rock rather than sand now.
That's really good.
She said, "Oh, I'm afraid that my nephew that I'm going to visit has a drug problem. I might have to do an intervention today." And he said, "Here, call this 800 number." All of this is so much evidence of a higher power too, watching over me.
It came together so well.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a small surprise for you.
Hi. Hi. Oh.
Wow.
But this is what it's all about.
Bill has already stolen all my good lines, I was going to tell about the train story. That's quite all right.
Amazing.
I mean, that guy was an absolute angel.
Everyone that raised their hand today, everyone that came today, you all came because you know what we're doing here, and we're trying to build awareness. And the people that are eager to get up here and to perform music and to write poetry and to share their intimate secrets, all just to help other people, is amazing. Because the people here are angels, and in recovery we're angels, and mom and dad are coming out to visit next week, and it's just amazing. It really is.
It really is.
When you're in recovery, we're conscious enough that we can recognize these gifts in our life and these miracles that happen. And the person, you all take, we can all be in public and we can share our story. I like sharing my story with someone. I'm not afraid to admit it, and some people might not be ready to do that. But can I get a show of hands of someone who might have just maybe had a brother or a sister or a friend or even a stranger that said they had a problem, and you said, you know what, I've been there myself. Let me just tell you about my story. We're all there. We're all there. And that's kind of the miracle of recovery. And just by being honest with someone else about where you've been in your life can totally help you or save a life. So we have one more thing. A gentleman that was at the train station.
Oh my God.
Has been willing to, I emailed him and I said, Jason, you saved a life and you didn't even realize it. And by sharing your story, you saved a life because you opened a door for someone to get help. And actually, Bill, you were talking to him for about a half an hour upstairs.
God.
So Jason, do you want to come up?
No.
Come on up, Jason.
I had no idea.
I'm sorry, I'm crying.
Thanks so much.
You said over the phone, I just do what I normally do.
Yeah.
And it was nothing, it was a miracle for him, and it's everyday life for you. And
I often think about that day on the platform. I remember you didn't have a cell phone and you wrote down you wrote the train thing with your hotel phone number, and by the time I got back in, you had checked out, and I often thought about you, and I didn't even know you.
I appreciate so much you're giving me this opportunity to be here to see Bill and to thank Jason personally, which I never thought I would be in a position to do. And I want to thank you. I want to thank all the people at Spencer.